evening and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dawn.
And I'm John, and together with the two running brooms.
So today we're at
the Royal Naval Air Station at Yeovilton in Somerset.
And we're here to do
the Yeovil Town Road Runners 5k road race. Now, we were last here in April where we did a 10k road race organised by the same club, and we're here August last year for the very same race, and it was extremely warm then, about 30 degrees. Tonight it's 26 degrees getting out the car. There's a gentle breeze. It doesn't feel like 26 degrees, so we're looking forward to hopefully some decent conditions for 5k road racing.
So John, what is your prediction for tonight?
That will be 100 odd runners set off from about a kilometre down there, run 5k and finish over there.
What do you hope to run tonight?
5k.
And what time do you hope to run?
About 7:15.
And what run time do you expect to complete the race in?
I expect to complete the race a few seconds either side of 20 minutes.
Okay, and myself?
What do you expect to complete the road race in?
I would like to run sub 21. I think I'll probably be anywhere between 21:20 and 22.
So let's see. So just on our warm up now. On the course it's a one loop, flat 5k road course. Beautiful.
All on tarmac.
Just as we like it. Ironically, after 2 weeks on holiday of pretty indifferent weather, including some real downpours, we've got a sultry summer evening. We're trying to run a fast 5k. So this race is one of a series that takes place on the second Wednesday throughout the summer, but obviously living in Yorkshire we get to do one every year when we're on holiday down here. Running part of the warm-up done, and now it's time to do a few drills with 20 minutes until the start of the race. So, as is my usual practice, I set off quite steadily in this race. You can just see Dawn in front of me here, more about her later. So there's about 114 runners completed the Yeovil 5k today, and I spent the first kilometre, which basically runs along this road with the Royal Naval Air Station on either side, just getting into my pace, setting off quite conservatively as I generally do, and recording I think a 4:06 for this first kilometre, which is straight down this road. So 4:06 would be 20:30 for the full 5k, so I'd need to pick it up to get anywhere near 20 minutes. So for the second kilometre you make the first left-hand turn, which we can see, and then the sun was in my eyes. Although I managed to increase the pace to 4 minutes for this kilometre, it's at this point in the race with the sort of fields on either side, I felt the air was really dry and I was finding it very difficult to get any moisture in the back of my mouth. So by this point I'm pushing as hard as I can. You can see that the race has thinned out a little bit. There are people ahead to chase down and pick off. Obviously I'm not from local area, so none of these people are particularly familiar to me in terms of any rivalries, but they're still good to try and chase down a fast time. So for the third kilometre I recorded a 4:04 kilometre, so certainly a time around 20 minutes does seem out of the window at this point. So for the next section of the course we pass the Podimore pub on the right and swing another left. And this really is the toughest section of the course. Somebody I know who runs the course fairly regularly said it was a right swine this particular kilometre. I dropped to a 4:09 even though I felt I was pushing really hard, and as you can see, passing people throughout. It doesn't particularly show us any elevation on Strava, but as we know, Garmin's don't always record elevation accurately. It does seem to be a slight climb when you're running it, but that might be just a function of being in the fourth kilometre of a 5k race and your legs turn into treacle. So by this point we're not going to record anywhere near 20 minutes tonight, but we still run for pride. We run to be the best we can be on that particular occasion, so we can look back and do the analytics knowing we put in the maximum effort. I managed to get an average of 173 heart rate for this race, which is what I generally do when I'm racing a 5k flat out, and maxed out at 190 heart rate. So you can still see at this point I'm trying to reel people in coming down this country lane before we make the final left turn and the final kilometre of the race is pretty much a repetition of the first kilometre, apart from the fact we turn into the RNAS station and we cross the finish line there. Sadly, the battery died at this point, but I pushed and ran my fastest kilometre of the race here for 3:59 and finishing with pride as well as I could on the evening. So a tough evening at the office that, in fact so tough somebody clocked out early, didn't they?
I did, yes. I dropped out basically within the first kilometre. I've not felt right for a couple of days, had a little bit of a head virus going on, but continued to train and I'm okay to run. But as soon as I started to put an effort in, I just felt such fatigue that I just thought this isn't worth pushing anything I have further into my body. So I decided to just stand on the sidelines and watch everybody else come in.
And for me, yeah, it was a tough shift that. Came in at 20:25 I think, which is 10 seconds slower than the Sales Sizzler a few weeks ago, and exactly the same time I ran at the No Walk in the Park 5k. In this heat I just found it very difficult to get my mouth moist. Just felt very dry air in the back of my mouth all the way around. But you know, I was passing people all the way, so pleased with the effort, if not with the time outcome. I think that's race number 4 we've been to in our 5k series. We have 2 more to go now. We've got the Dereham 5k coming up on the 20th of August, really looking forward to that. And then the Mid Cheshire 5k, the big fast one in the northwest of England, on the 25th of August. And then we'll reveal what's coming up next in our training plans.
We do indeed, and I'm looking forward to those too, and I hope that they'll go better than this one did.
So it's now 3 days later, had a little bit of time to process that result and try and work out why I was between 20 and 30 seconds slower than normal. And I think the main reason is the heat. Now, some of you may be watching this and thinking, 26 degrees, that's not hot, is it? You know, where I live, it's regularly higher than that, but I'll give you 3 reasons why I think heat was the main factor. 1, I've read that men tend to run less well in the heat than women. The second thing is that runners who are petite tend to manage heat better than runners who are larger. I wouldn't call myself particularly petite. And the third reason that runners might not manage the heat as well as other runners is acclimatization. Now, as we said, the weather in the UK for the past 2 or 3 weeks has been absolutely abysmal. It's been very cold for the time of year. It's been wet. You may have seen some of our videos where we've been battling high winds and rain. And then when we get to the 5k road race, lo and behold, it's beautiful summer weather. So I think those 3 reasons went into a slightly sluggish performance, but the effort was right, the input was right, just not the outputs we wanted.
So we hope that you've enjoyed that race coverage, and sadly not very much input from me this time.
No, but we still have 2 more races to come in our 5k series, so we hope you can bounce back.
Certainly do.
So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. We do regular training, racing, parkrun, coaching and other running content. So until next time,
Keep on keeping on.
keep on keeping on.